Giving it all we got, giving it all we can, giving it all we got. Oh, climbing up to the top of the world, no fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours. Whoa.
Hey, morning everybody. Craig here on the Thai farm, and it's just after 8:30 and I'm already exhausted. Yesterday I did a lot of work on the front gate, trying to level that second plank out, the threshold plank. Backfilled it. I went and got a truck load of gravel and you know, put the gravel underneath that where the plank was. I flipped the plank over after about the 5th try, my brute strength. But you know, 20 foot of solid concrete and metal is not easy. But then I did a dry mix on below it. So I filled in the concrete, or the gravel and the you know, cement powder, and then I used actually water up there from the canals going by. So I got that all in place. Anyway, I do believe that it's good enough. My concern is the weight, of course. I did drive over it a few times with the truck to make sure it was good. I drove over it once when the truck was full of gravel. That probably wasn't a good idea, but it was just as well. It did push it down, you know, farther, but then I was able to bring it back up and pack more gravel and stuff underneath there. But anyway, it took forever. And I brought my metal piece that I welded. I think I might have showed that in the previous video. So I welded the guide, or the track, and put those little shoes on there and laid that out there, and it seems to be level. I put the level on it, and it's level where the two pieces meet. There's two 20-foot sections, and although I left a big gap between the two, which I'm going to cement this morning. One, because I wanted a little bit more room past the gate on that side for the gate itself, and because the track fits better that way. So anyway, I don't think I'm gonna be able to put the track on today. I do need to, you know, use the hammer drill to drill those holes to bolt in those footers I welded, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to bolt those in with the battery drill that I have, which means I need to have power to use my good drill, which means I'm gonna have to get the power guy out there. I wanted to try and do as much as I could, you know, before bringing the power guy out, which is actually, oh my gosh, which is what I've been doing this morning. And although last night, by the way, I made another little piece of artsy fence from my wood scrap. If you remember, I had a big old nasty pile of wood here, and I just took it all up and I set it up around this. This was my old fire can, my chimney that I made for those two to burn charcoal, but I used it now. It's kind of rotted at the bottom, so I used it to stack this up. And I might have mentioned this before, but you know, wait for this to dry a little bit, and what happens is I can peel I'll show you. I'll peel the bark off of it, so the bark actually pops off of these pretty easy. And actually my cats also love that now as a scratch pole. But yeah, so these pieces that I made over here, or this piece I made of, these all don't have the bark on it anymore. And it comes out. I don't know why I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use it for, you know, I could even stick it right in here for background decoration. I just made a couple, or I'll make a couple more of those. I am gonna eventually put more of it on my palace over there I'm making, but yesterday I was dead. I mean, I literally, after I did that in the morning, actually till about 2 in the afternoon, and I couldn't even lift my arm. My arm's all messed up too right now. I can barely hold the camera with it, but I can't put it over my head. And I told myself yesterday, oh my God, it's like, you know, I came back, I wasn't gonna do anything today. When I took a shower, I took like 2 500 milligram paracetamol and just laid down, you know, reclined or whatever, and went to sleep. Tried to regroup. But, you know, about 5 in the afternoon, I couldn't sit still, you know. I got up and I come out here. I was all clean and everything, but then, I don't know, idle hands maybe. So I built that little fence thing. Also, I took delivery yesterday of my new batch of the lights for the my bridge. If y'all remember from a previous video, I bought those little overhang lights for the bridge. I didn't get them for the platform yet, but I will. And they were multicolored. I ordered white, and I'm like, God damn. So anyway, I ordered from a different company now, and I got the white ones. And I'll show you a picture if I can wait till tonight when I upload this, but they're all good. They looked good last night. Whoa, big old fish right there. I do have my pole in here because we're trying to catch a snakehead. Not the snake. I would like to still catch the snake. It'd be cool if the pole caught the snake. But let me set this down. Turn this up a little bit. Oh yeah. What I did with the pole here. I haven't used this pole in a while. Might be something on the end of it, I don't know. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, I think maybe there's something. Whoa. Nope. Oh man. Wow. I lost my hook and my bait. I had a nice tree frog on there with a big hook. I cast it way over there. And then just let it sit. And right now when I was walking by, I saw some tension on the line. But I don't know what happened, man. It might have got down in here. They might have wrapped themselves around the piling or something. Well, that sucks. But I don't know if it's not windy, so the wind probably didn't do it. You can see fishes. These guys are all ready. But I know it wasn't no fish that caught it. I mean, the snakehead catfish, yeah, that pretty well. He's a bottom dweller. I rigged it so his bottom. Frog was still alive a little bit, so, you know, I was hoping maybe even a snake would have grabbed it. That would have been cool. I caught the snake on a hook. Yeah. But yeah, it's too bad, man. It could have just got tied up, but there's no current in there. I don't know how did it get all the way over there. I should have put a little bell on it so I could hear it tinger, tinger, tinger. Anyway, in preparation for wearing myself out again, because like I said, I originally was thinking I ain't doing that today. Today I'm gonna work on maybe, you know, soft projects. We'll call them soft projects, like art, you know, do something that I've been wanting to do, a couple of projects for design, you know, just to improve the aesthetic value of some of the property. But I gotta get the gotta get the gate finished. I want it finished. And so I'm gonna cement that little area between the two planks, and I'm also gonna build out another little platform of cement behind that pillar, you know, inclusive of the cement. I think my gate opener will fit on the platform. I mean, on the cement. Let me set this in. I think it will cement on the cement plank as it is. Oh my God, that is so heavy right now. I cannot lift stuff with this hand. I gotta remember that. Dang, man. I'm gonna bring this up there. Yeah, I think it'll fit on the plank, but if it does, there's not much room on the back side of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a more platform on the back side of it, so I definitely have enough room. This is a template where it sits down on top of here and bolts to it, because I got to drill through there too. I'll check it out. But it's not just simple enough. It sounds simple enough. Just fill in some cement on that back, between the gates, and make that little platform, like that. But let me show you what my job this morning really entails, and that is, well, I'm not gonna dry mix up there, but I'm bringing the cement and the sand up there, and I'm gonna use the gravel that I dumped up there to mix the concrete, and I'm gonna use the water from the canal up there to mix the concrete. I ain't worried about clean water, it's gonna be fine. But all this stuff, man, is what's going on today. And let's go from left to right. These are old pieces of shear board, which I'm gonna use for a form for that extra platform I need. This is actually old, and it's painted here, but this is old electrical conduiting that I'm gonna use to go across the whole gate. Remember, I gotta go from that light to that light, so I wanna have two, I gotta have a length of it long enough to run the wire through there from light to light. Although I just now realized I forgot that I gotta go up the pole too. Anyway, I might need more conduit. But of course, my level, you gotta have that, and I just showed you that one for the platform. My hammer is because my sledge I'm gonna use to pound these two poles in. These two poles I'm gonna use, they're bent up, but I'm gonna pound them in on the incline side of the dirt over there, because I have the cement platform, the cement plank, but there's, it's kind of a ledge. There's a decline or incline, whatever you want to look at it. And so when I put the form in there and pour cement in there, I don't want it all sliding down, So I'm gonna give it a little bit more strength to hold up. I figured, I had these two laying around, I'm gonna pound them down there with my pony sledge. That'll work. I got a regular hammer for when I get mad. This piece here, this is just stuck on the end of it. But anyway, I was gonna use this to seat into that cement, because remember, I have to have a power line coming out, and I want the power line is going to come up underneath that, right? It's going to come up underneath that into there, and be free of, obviously, so it doesn't get wet from water, rain, and everything. So I'm definitely going to need new, but what I wanted to do was put this L. I want to really put just a corner in there. But I got this old piece I used for my pump, and it had this is 1.5 inch, and this is 1 inch. So this is 1.5, and this is 2, but it goes down to the 1.5. So I wanted to be able to put it in there and make sure it fits. I don't get any cement in there, because later I'm going to come in with the 1 inch that'll guide the or the 1.5, whatever, that'll guide the heavy power line and goes up into the breaker box and stuff when I get that situated. But I'll make some adjustments when I'm up there. I did have a piece of this old mesh. I'm gonna double it up and put that in there on the platform. Gotta have my shovel for that. My chipper. Get it going down here, and of course my hoe to do the mixing. And of course, you know, I gotta use this, bring the cement, the PVC cement, and the freaking couplings, because I'm using the old stuff, and you know, this to open that, and that's to open that, and that's to cut that. You know, everything, there's if it ain't one thing, it's another. And I'm also using the rest of my flat black spray. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the at least the footers of that rail that I made. You know, but in my mind's eye, it's much simpler. It's like, oh, just get up and, you know, you can do it, and just go put the cement in the front. That's only a little bit of cement. That's only a little bit of cement. And then when you really, you know, gotta do it, a ton of shit, man. All kinds of stuff. But anyway, let's get up there and mix some cement, and we'll take a look at my previous work from yesterday. All right, back at you. Alrighty, well, this is really what I did yesterday. I even made it more sloped here. I just want to really fill this in. And you can see some of the darker grays because of the cement powder that was still underneath there. This is that small area I was talking about. So I'm gonna fill this in, and then this is where I want the box to be, so I'm gonna fill this in so it's a little bit of a platform here, and then the platform will be there, and I'll have the exit pipe coming out here for the electrical, for the conduit, whether it comes from this pole or whether it's going to be a line over. It can be another line from that pole all the way to here and then down, but it's probably going to be going this way, which means that I'm probably not going to have it, you know, in the middle of this, right? So I'm probably going to have it go down and then bend, and then have it bent and come up into position. But at least now it's level. And here's the bar I made, nasty as it is. These are the pieces, again, you know, scrapping, right? So I scrapped those two together, and I scrapped this one. That's a single piece, but hey, it works, man. It should be all right. Obviously, like most of these gates, you make adjustments as you go along. They'll come in and out of adjustment. I do worry. I mentioned it just a little bit ago, I think, about the tractor. You know, it is a farm. It is a working farm, so there's tractors that come through here and bigger trucks with the hay baler or the you know, harvester. Even though here in Thailand, you know, we're a lot of family farms, right? Simple farms like these, and so, you know, the tractors, they're not the big ones. The harvesters aren't big ones. This is the first time, actually. I mean, I didn't really pay attention much to any farming in America, but from what I remember, all my John Deere, you know, observations or whatever, everything was big, man. And here, they make a lot of mini stuff, so that's pretty cool. Although it can be kind of a bummer sometimes, because like when I wanted to put dirt down for this road here, you know, you need 50 trucks or 150 dump trucks or something full of dirt, and you're thinking, what? That's because they're small. If it was a big old normal sized dump truck, probably could have done that 10 loads or something, but you know, I didn't do it like that. That's all right, man. Well, let me get something done, and I'm gonna start mixing cement. We'll get back at you. I am done with that crap for today. I took a shower, relaxed a little bit because it was brutal. I got out there early, but damn, man, the sun came out like right after I was talking. Seemed like as soon as I started working up there, it was baking. I wound up not putting those steel poles in the ground. I tried hammering one, but it wasn't going in very good the way I wanted it. So, and the slope wasn't that drastic right by where I wanted to, you know, where I needed to make the pad. But so I figured it'd be all right. I just made the pad a little thicker, and if need be later, I can, on this side of the pad, you know, I can just drive a rebar or something down the slope, or bamboo, whatever, even to prevent the pad from moving back. You know, a couple pieces or something. Kind of like I was going to do with the metal pipe, but the metal pipe might have been overkill. And what else? Yeah. So hopefully it'll stay. I am a little worried about, you know, the torrential rain getting underneath that slab, underneath the concrete, well, not slab, what is it called? Oh, plank. Yeah. And that's the challenge, really. See, so I wanted to, you know, basically it was a shortcut. I think I was thinking of a shortcut, but at the same time I knew that the plank was already, you know, flat, right? So when I laid the two planks, I was almost done putting that gate up there. It was a pretty easy deal. And then but you know, everybody that's got one of these automatic gates, you know, it's usually on the part of their whole foundation or whatever. The whole concrete slab has already been laid down. It's totally flat. So when they want to bolt stuff into the ground, they just drill straight down into the concrete and all that, you know. These are planks, you know, that are like whatever, 2.5, 3 inches thick. And I have to actually drill into those. So that's going to be a little tricky. I hope they don't break apart. But and you know, it's a tough gear, and it's turning to push that whole gate, you know. So it's got a lot of maybe bottom end torque on the ground. And so I'm wondering, you know, I guess there's only one way to find out, is I get it done, see if the planks hold up. If they don't, well, back to square one. Guess what I got to do? I got to pour concrete. I can probably leave the slabs in place, but all surrounding it and underneath that, you know, I'll probably have to lift the concrete up again, put a big old, or lift the slab planks up again, pour a boatload of concrete in the, you know, underneath them, and plop them back down on top of the wet concrete to level them off, so they're all part of one big thing that I can drill through the plank on into the regular concrete or whatever. But you know, my whole driveway is sloped from the main road down through the gate, so it would be a considerable amount of concrete. I'd probably have to look into making the whole driveway entrance from the road past the gate to where it starts to flatten out, that whole area concrete, which means, you know, it's got to be dug down, form put up. Concrete guys are across the street, but then, you know, I was trying to do this on the cheap, man. Pouring the whole concrete is gonna, you know, that's another whatever, 6,000 or 8,000 baht probably for concrete. You know, 5 cubes or something. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. I think I think it'll be all right for now. We'll see. But yeah, it was brutal. I laid the electrical pipe underneath there on the backside, and you know, I was able to pour the concrete in the middle and in my little extra slab. Is that something biting me? And yeah, got her done. Had a couple of Lazada deliveries also while I was out there. Minor, but I thought maybe I'll find them interesting. Just little stuff I think I always need or whatever, you know. It's like, oh, I need that, and you buy it. And one of them, something did bite me. Speaking of bites, I know y'all think I get injured all the time. I don't think I really showed it, but let me see. You see my foot, man? I stabbed myself a couple times with the wire mesh that I cut to put in there. When I cut it, it sprung back up, jabbed me right in the foot. Man, those are like razor cuts. Anyway, one of the things I got was this little wristband for when I'm working. Now you're thinking, oh, he's just got a wristband because his wrist hurts. No, this wristband is one of these wristbands that are magnetic. So when I'm working, I'm always, you know, I'm taking screws out of stuff. Dang it. I'm taking screws out of stuff. You know, I'm usually just laying them on the thing, then I'm looking all over for them. I just put them right here. And then boom, I got a magnet, I can do that. Little handy dandy screw keeper. I can put little other tools there and stuff. It looks like it has 1, 2, 3 pieces of magnet in there. I could even put more in there if I wanted to. And this other one, check this out. I know what you're thinking. But this is kind of cool. So you basically you just wear it, wrap it like that. And what it is it's got, you press this on right here, and boom, it's got 2 little headlights. Now you think, what? But yeah, so what it is, like, you know, I'm always reaching in my desk where I'm working on my computer. I got drawers, and I'll open the drawer and I'll looking through there. I can't look through there, but because I can't see, and I'll take my phone, I'll put the flashlight on there, or I have another flashlight looking around for stuff. But with this, I can just go like this, and the light is enough to look in the drawers and stuff. Or if I'm actually in my shop, sometimes the light's not enough and I'm looking for something in there, in a box or something like that, and then, you know, I can look at it with my finger flashlights. Pretty cool. By Runco. Something to do. You know. I wonder who the guy was who sat around and invented that. You know, I think I told the story before how I wanted to invent the flip-flop or flexible keyboard. And after I was on the beach in Bang San, you know, back in the early 90s or late 80s, I don't know, a long time ago. It was when Pantip Plaza was really a badass place, had all kinds of crazy stuff in there. You could get people their own little side inventions and stuff, and as well as, yeah, it was a big bootleg factory, but it was a great place, man. Killer place. Long since gone. Now it's probably a food court or something. But oh, they did have a food court in there, that's right, and I did like eating there. They had A&W root beer on the bottom. They probably still do, maybe. But anyway, yeah, I found this. I remember I found a mouse. It was like about that big. It was round, just held in your hand, just like as if you're holding one of those little toy footballs or whatever, you know, like that. You put your finger through the front, and then where your trigger, where like you were going to pull a hammer back, where your thumb was the ball for the mouse. And you would, you know, move the ball. This is when they kind of shortly after they probably invented the trackball for the mouse. We didn't have wireless back then, I don't think, but you plug it in, and this thing was, man, it was, you know, state of the art really, as far as I was concerned. And I got one of those. It was so good. I used it a lot when I was teaching. And when they first, that was when the Mac. Well, we had the Mac and the Mac 2, the one with the pizza box frame or whatever. Yeah, so that thing was awesome, man. And but yeah, in the early 90s or late 80s, I think it was the Motorola Razr came out, flip phone, right? And it had a little bit of a wider profile. But the challenge with all those flip phones, and even the phones today, but more so, the old flip phones, was the keypad. The keypads were just, your thumbs, and you're trying to you're always making mistakes. It's just so tiny. And there were even, some of the phones were super small. So on the beach there in a bungalow, I was staying out for a few weeks. I designed this keyboard that was, I think I called it the flip-flop keyboard or something like that. And so you would open up the phone, and then the keypad was there, but you could just, with the ultra thin, harder plastic or whatever, or it could be metal, but I think I made the demo as plastic. You could, when you opened up the phone, you would flip it out like this and flip it out like this, and you'd have like I think it was about a 7-inch keyboard that was attached to your phone. So you could have much bigger chance, or much better chance of using a keyboard when you're trying to text and do all that typing and all that kind of stuff. Back then it was like revolutionary. I was, yeah, baby. But I didn't do anything with it. And then probably a couple years later, whatever, they came out with the gel keyboard. That one was rolled up, soft keyboard, rolled up in a plastic thing for $1 or something like that. And yeah, you could just roll it out and flex it. I don't think they had the flip-flop keyboard, but you probably do now. Usually when you ever think of something, somebody already got it. Somebody already invented it. I was just watching on YouTube, this guy was like van life or homeless van life or something, where the guy was actually homeless, but he was living in his van, and he kind of customized it a little bit, but he wasn't like the full van people. He was still in the depression mode because his wife had died. She had a pension and a Social Security, and he had only Social Security. So when she died, he didn't have any of that. He had only his Social Security, which is like about $1,000 a month. So, typical story in America. Lost everything, right? Lost the house, had to sell what he had, regroup, buy a van, and live in that, and see if he could survive on $1,000 a month. But he told the story that he had a patent, that he still had a patent, which he paid a lot of money for because he thought it was really going to take off. And he had a patent, but it never panned out. And that was a patent for, well, you know how like, I swear something's still biting me. You went in a small airplane or big airplane, doesn't matter. They have the blocks, right, or chocks, whatever. They have blocks, usually attached by a rope that stick under both sides of the wheel, stop the plane from rolling anywhere. And then, big old truckers have them, long haul truckers and all that stuff. If you're parking on a hill or something, or not even parking on a hill, they just put the blocks underneath the tire so the truck don't go nowhere, don't accidentally slip out of gear and roll and move or whatever. And so what he did, he invented ones that were for trains, blocks specifically. He had it all designed, everything metal, I guess, and all that. And he had them for trains, and he met with the the railway guys and all that, and but they didn't bite, they didn't buy into it. They were like, man, we can do it. We'll let our trains roll back down the hill and tip over and spill all the chemicals or kill 100 people. It's all right. So, but that was his, he was holding on to that story of, I had it, it was that close. And who knows, probably could have saved lives with something like that. But anyway, I think as you get older, everybody has like 100 ideas that they probably wanted to create or thought they could make, you know, money off of or whatever, gone by the wayside. Yeah. Well, I hope my gate turns out okay. I want to get that cement all up there. Just make sure it doesn't crack or anything. Where the two planks have bars sticking out at the ends. That's the way they're made. So the bars that stick out at the end actually provide more stability for when I poured the cement in that area to hold them, you know, together. At least that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. But, you know, I do feel kind of broken, man. My shoulder, I'm telling you, tore it up. When I talked about those, I talked about putting them on my windmill thing over there, you know, so when the wind goes. But then I just thought, when I was actually sitting here last night, that my fan, man, I bet you I could bolt that thing to the fan blade, turn the fan on. I have a light show and a fan at the same time. I could probably disassemble it, what they call that, re-engineer it, or de-engineer it. And you know, because it's really just a LED strip with a tiny little chipboard, and it's got 3 AAA, so that's what, 1.5, 4.5, 4.5 volts. So you could probably do something with a smaller 4.5 volt battery, and then tape it to the fan. Market it as a tape. There's me going with another idea. Tape it to the fan, and people will be going, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that?" All right, man. Well, enough small talk. I will update you further as I regain my strength and momentum to finish my front gate project. All right, man. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and keep watching. And I'll get back at you with more inventions here on Banana.